Joining me now is the Democratic Senator Tina Smith of Minnesota. She's the chair of the Senate Subcommittee on Housing, Transportation, and Community Developments, which oversees all federal housing and transit programs. Senator, good to see you again. Thank you for being here.
Good to see you, too. It's great to be with you.
There are a lot of things in the economy that are transient. They come and go. You can adjust them with interest rates, and you can do various things, including fighting inflation or fixing a recession. Housing isn't intractable. It's everything. It's an infrastructure problem. It's a government activity. This is really the thing that I think a lot of people feel holds them back. Young people in good jobs who have no likelihood of being able to own a house in America.
No, that is exactly right. I mean, every day Americans are trying to figure out how to afford their lives. And one of the biggest issues is, can they afford their rent or their mortgage, or realizing the American dream of buying their own home? And the reason that we have such a struggle with this is because we have a significant housing shortage in our country. This started back in the foreclosure crisis of 2008 and 2009, when construction just collapsed, and we haven't ever really caught back up. So what I really admire about what Vice President Harris and Governor Walz have proposed is a common sense, practical, very realistic proposal for how we can get at this by boosting housing supply and setting a bold goal, as you just laid out, of building 3 million new apartments and houses over the next 5 years, and then getting after these corporate landlords that are swooping in and buying up homes, turning them into rentals, jacking up the prices, not maintaining them very well, and having a huge impact on communities. In places like Atlanta, Georgia, nearly, I think, 40% of the homes are being bought up by these big corporations, and that is reducing opportunity for everybody in the community. So they laid out a really good plan. And I mean, in comparison, Donald Trump, who is a convicted criminal, was sued for housing discrimination. Right. He didn't do anything about this problem when he was president.
So there's a few problems going on here. When we talk about inflation, a lot of prices have come down, more need to come down. But when you add housing to that, whether it's housing unaffordability from a purchase perspective or rent, there are a whole bunch of people where I go out and tell them, inflation's come down a lot since the pandemic. And they say, have you seen my rent? That's one of those areas that's really a problem. So forget the idea that there are a lot of people who the idea of owning a home is escaping them. This rental issue is a very, very serious issue, because if you're not a homeowner, you're stuck renting, and that's really hard if you can't find an affordable place.
Yep, that is exactly right. And when you're not building enough supply in order to meet the demand, prices are going to go up. And that's what we're seeing in this country. And, I'll tell you that in my hometown of Minneapolis, Minnesota, where they have made zoning changes so that it is easier to build apartments and build more housing, we actually have seen a lower inflation rate overall, right, because we are getting on top of this this housing supply problem. But this is something that we can do across the country, and that's what Vice President Harris is laying out in her proposal.
Kind of unbelievable. The median price of a single-family home in America, the price at which half of all homes are higher or half are lower, $495,750 right now. 77% of United States households could not possibly afford to live in the median home in America.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And as Vice President Harris has said, the dream of owning your own home is part of the American dream. It's part of the way that you can build wealth in this country. And we also know that that dream has not been available to everybody in this country. The long history and legacy of redlining has limited opportunity for so many people, which is why it's important that we have a comprehensive plan like Vice President Harris has laid out to really get at this and make that dream available to everybody in this country.
One of the interesting things about Minnesota is it has done some of these things, as you said, with housing. It's done it with the child tax credit. It's done it with all these things that we've learned about your state in the last few weeks. And yet it is still a remarkably business-friendly state. The script that if you do those things, businesses will run from your state is absolutely not true in Minnesota.
That's exactly right. And I'll tell you, I travel all over Minnesota, of course, all the time. And what business people tell me is one of the biggest limiting factors that they face as they're trying to recruit talent, especially in small towns and rural communities, is there's no place for people to live. Yep. So how are you going to recruit a family to work in your work in your company when they can't find a good place to live. It is very much part of the business strategy in Minnesota to have housing that everybody wants to live in, that is affordable, along with childcare and paid family and medical leave, other things that Governor Walz has accomplished here in Minnesota that make this a very business-friendly, strong economy state.
You study housing, so I want to ask you this idea of providing people with money for a down payment makes a lot of sense. But in a housing shortage environment, what do you make of the criticism that that itself could actually cause more housing inflation? Because now you got a whole lot more people who are going to buy that limited supply of housing.
Well, I mean, truly, this is why it's important that we have a comprehensive plan. And if you only provided support for down payment assistance, for example, and you didn't get after the fundamental problem of not having enough housing supply, then you'd have a problem. But what I appreciate about their proposal is that it is comprehensive. You've got to get at that root problem of housing supply, and it's complicated. You need to have better tax incentives for private developers to build housing. You need to create more innovative opportunities for local communities to build housing that isn't maybe totally built off of the profit motive. You need to reform local zoning laws so that you can build duplexes and triplexes in communities and do that more affordably so that the buildings can actually get built. You've got to have that comprehensive approach.
Senator Tina Smith, thank you for joining us. Appreciate the conversation. Tina Smith is a Democratic senator from Minnesota. We appreciate your time tonight.
Thank you.